Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show where I answer questions, discuss topics, and all that jazz. The first question today comes in from everyone. Literally everyone. Where is space tourism? That's an interesting question, isn't it? A while back, the pressure of YouTube got to me a little bit, and I ended up taking a break from the usual formula with which I'd been making Kerbal Space Program videos, and that included space tourism. So space tourism stopped for a little while. Since that point, I haven't really been streaming and playing KSP, apart from the Jazzdroid Redirect stream, which was a one stream, and I just cut it up and exported it to YouTube over the period of a couple of weeks. Actually no, it was a period of 3 or 4 weeks because of Audio Micro songs being claimed by companies other than Audio Micro. Bit of a discrepancy there. So I haven't really been playing KSP all that much. The time after making that Jazzdroid stream, where I did play it in the usual standard way I do, was the Expeditionary Markers video, where I went and flew to North Pole and placed all those markers everywhere. And that was the closest I've been to making a regular video for a very, very long time. So, in answer to your question, where is space tourism? It is in the ether, somewhere. It is not here, certainly not here, but it may be coming back. I have exams in 2 weeks' time, so it's probably going to continue after those exams, or I might just replace it with something else completely. My microphone is bobbing all over the place as I do these hand gestures on my desk. I'm not entirely sure. I like space tourism, I think it's a really great concept, but actually doing it justice and having all these things that I carried on talking about in the first and second series, about all these tourism attractions, such as these merry-go-rounds and these hang gliding and skiing and all these wonderful activities for the Kerbals to do, actually making them in the format of video that I've been doing, which is where I record about 4 hours of footage and then edit it down, which takes about another hour and a half, and then commentate over it, and then render it and then upload it. It takes an awful lot of time. And admittedly, in the summer holidays I'm going to have plenty of time to do stuff like that, so I may well go back to it, but it just built up until the point where I got just completely fed up with it. So I pushed it away and didn't do it for a very long time. And whether I want to go back and maybe test the waters again and start doing that type of video again, I'm unsure. I'm unsure whether just to change what I do completely, whether to do the same thing and reduce it, so make less content-filled videos, because it didn't start out like that. It just kind of ramped up over a period of time. When I did the That's No Moon Base series, it was about an hour and a half of recording, and then editing for half an hour and then commentating. And that's because each one of those videos was very simply, "Hi, this person has submitted this ship. I'm going to put it on a rocket, send it to the moon, and land it. Bye!" That was every single episode, almost every single episode, and that didn't take long because the moon is very close, whereas Jool is a lot farther away, and doing things around Jool takes a lot longer because just getting there, and then once you're there doing all the big orbital maneuvers, it takes a very long time. So the start of Space Tourism Series 1 took about maybe 2.5 hours per episode. By the time it's Series 2, it was up to the 4-hour kind of mark, because I was trying to put more content in each episode, trying to do more things. And, of course, as I've said repeatedly, the pressure just got to me. And so I made a couple of videos a while ago talking about how I was going to take YouTube less seriously, which I have done, and it's gone well for me. I'm happy with the changes I've made around the channel. So, yeah, space tourism may be coming back, maybe not. I will decide at a later date. That question was a bit unusual because it didn't come in from any specific person, it was just spammed on every single video since Space Tourism ended. So I thought I might as well address it. Thank you very much for the question, everyone. Okay, the first proper question comes in from Romeo. Hey there, Harv. Have you heard about this book called The Martian, written by Andy Weir, or however you pronounce that person's name. It's the story about a stranded astronaut in Mars and his fight to survive. I bet you would like it and maybe get some ideas for videos or maybe even develop some mods for it. Now, as you can see on the thumbnail that's on the screen right now, there's actually 2 questions from this person. That first question I've just read out, I'm going to answer just in passing, and then actually continue on to the next one. Surprisingly enough, yes. Yes, I've heard about this book called The Martian, and the reason is because it's on my shelf staring me in the face every time I read a different book, going, read me, your father says I'm really good, and now the internet is also saying I'm really good, read me. So I'm going to read it. I'm really going to read it. I love sci-fi. I've already discussed that. I saw this person's question, I wanted to answer the second question, and the fact that you, Romeo, the fact that you've asked in passing about this book, I thought it was just too much of a coincidence to pass up on mentioning in a video. So there you go, I'm going to read it. Your idea about making videos from it and developing mods for it is interesting. That's very interesting, actually. A mod. I'd have to read it first to find out exactly what it is, but being stranded... Yeah, a KSP mod where you're stranded on Juna and have to collect resources. It'd be like a big overhaul kind of thing. That would be interesting. There's probably something... You could probably recreate that with mods that currently exist. And making videos from it, yeah, definitely based on the mods, certainly, if not just vanilla. But I'd have to read it first. So I will do at some point. It sounds very interesting. Anyway, on to the actual question. What do you plan to study? Something space-related? I bet you would not only be good at it, but also good at making educational videos. Well, my current plan is to study physics at university. Don't know exactly which university I'd like to go to. If I can, I might go to Oxford, but that's kind of up in the air at the moment, considering I haven't finished my GCSEs. But yes, my interest is in physics. That's where it lies, as you can probably tell from all the videos I've been making. The thing is, I'm going to go do that, but from there, I'm unsure. Going to physics to study university. Going to university to study physics is very much set in stone at the moment. It's exactly what I want. But from there, working in the space industry, or developing games, or doing voice acting on the side of making YouTube videos, it's all kind of up in the air. I've talked about this previously, that YouTube is not a clever source of income to rely on, because it is so variable, and right now, the way things are going, I wouldn't be able to rely on it anyway, frankly. Over the summer holidays, I'm hoping that the additional videos I make, I'll be able to get into it more and do more things. The charity livestream, all this, hopefully, will get my YouTube channel back on the track of exponential growth, or at least linear growth, rather than negatively exponential growth. But still, even with that added input of growth and views and things that I'll be able to get as a result of the extra time, I don't think YouTube is ever going to be a good idea to rely on for a living. EnterElysium is doing it. He seems to be doing alright. But, nah. I don't know. If I have the choice, I'd probably prefer not to rely on it. But if I'm going to seriously get into voice acting, which may be decided over the next 2 years, then it could be on the side supporting the voice acting I do. It depends, because right now I'm not particularly good at voice acting. I'm desperately searching for experience. I'm trying to get good at it. In fact, there's an unanswered email in my inbox from Try, the developers of Try, who are about to get in contact about voice acting, presumably, so I need to sort that out today. That should be good, get a bit of experience from doing that. But yes, voice acting, something I really want to do, something I constantly say I want to do in almost every single video. That, and YouTube, in combination, may be quite good. Game development, I would like to develop games. I am going to develop a game, probably. Probably over the summer. It will have Oculus Rift support, but it probably... I don't think it will be just for Oculus Rift. I reckon I'll make it available for anyone to play, which will take more effort, because making something good in VR, also good just in non-VR, is probably a lot harder. But hey. So yeah, maybe I do game development on the side of YouTube and voice acting, all three. Who knows? Who really knows? Or I could go and actually make a living in the space industry. I'd love to go into space one day. That's basically my life's ambition. To go at least even suborbital, just I want to go into space. And whether I do that as a tourist, because the price of tourism will probably decrease because of Skylon, or if I actually put all my effort in and try and become an astronaut and working for NASA or something, which is going to be very difficult, but if I apply myself, it's certainly possible. Or do I just, I don't know, just work in the space industries anyway? Skylon is probably going to make space tourism cheaper. If I worked for Reaction Engines, or a company like them, my chance of getting into space must be, or will probably be, much higher. And it's also really interesting, because I'm going to study physics, I'll have the qualifications, hopefully, if I do well, and it's the area of academia that I enjoy and am very interested in. So working in the space industry is probably the most reliable out of all those. It's probably the most challenging out of all those. It certainly is the most challenging out of all those, apart from the astronaut thing. So whether I do it or not entirely depends on the next 2 years. I'm going to go to sixth form, going to study A-levels, keep up doing YouTube and voice acting and game development all on the side during that, depending on how well that goes. Yeah, we shall see. I kind of rambled on a bit beyond studying, which your question focused on, but it was what I wanted to talk about, so. And also, your final comment in regards to educational videos, I've made one, and I was going to make another one. I probably will, still, at some point, about space-based solar power, but I didn't take the opportunity of Easter to make it, and now I have exams looming, and after that, well, after that we shall see. Thank you very much for the question. The final one today comes in from Jack. Hey Harv, Guy here. At the end of StarQuest you mentioned the possibility of another narrative series with EnterElysium. Do you have any ideas for the next series, or have you already got something in mind? Officially, at the end of StarQuest Season 1, Series 1, whatever you want to call it, we said no. No ho ho, we're certainly not going to do StarMade again, no. Because by the time we got to the end where we were having big battles, the game was clunky as all hell. It was horrible to work with, we were getting crashes constantly, and it was lagging, and then the server was crashing, and it was bad. It was bad. However, it was also really fun. And I really like the idea of doing narrative series, as you called it. I called it semi-scripted, I think at the time, and probably that still applies. For those of you who didn't watch StarQuest, weren't interested in StarQuest, don't know what I'm talking about, we made a series where we planned it out to have a story-based structure. It was half Let's Play, and half, I don't know, TV show. There was an ongoing series of escapades leading up to a final conclusion where we scripted not some of the dialogue. We kind of said what we were going to say and then just rambled on in that general direction. But we scripted the events. So we had people come in flying ships and attack us and certain things at certain times. So it was a semi-scripted Let's Play. And that was really cool, really fun to make. Really liked the outcome, though it was our first time doing anything remotely like that, or certainly mine, and as a result it didn't turn out very good quality, a lot of it. So I want to do it again to improve it, to make it better, and though we didn't enjoy our time developing it towards the end, or not, we didn't enjoy it entirely, I think we probably will now. I've written a draft of a storyline. Elysium and I both like it, it's plausible that we'll make it, and I'd rather like to, and I think so would he. So that's probably going to happen. Again, exams looming, it will happen after the summer, or after the exams during the summer, if it's going to happen. But we do have ideas. We might use a different game, just throwing that out there. It's possible that we'll use something else other than StarMade. Not likely, because StarMade has been improved, and also because I've put a load of hours into developing a space station that I did in a stream that I want to use in the series. So we've got that asset. So yes, I find it quite likely. I think it will happen. And it ought to be, whatever it turns out being, it will be a lot better than StarCrest Series 1. Thank you very much for the question, and thank you all for your interest in this video, because it has now ended. If you would like to send in your own questions or topics for discussion and all that jazz, you can contact Harv at HOCgaming@live.co.uk via email or via Twitter at HOCgamer. If you'd like to hire Harv as your voice actor for your game or project, then you can contact me at those previous 2 contact points. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.